Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Ivana and I love to read. And welcome to what is likely going to be a pretty chaotic winter break vlog. I am really excited. I finally have time off. I'm a teacher and I'm gonna do a few bookish things these next couple of days. So I figured I would bring you along and I would try my best to vlog. Just a fair warning though, this might be a little chaotic. I admittedly am a little camera shy, so wish me luck. Today, my friend and I are going to a used bookstore. That's a superstore that's like 20 something minutes from us. And I don't have a car, so this is a treat for me. We're gonna go to a diner, so hopefully it'll be really fun. And I hope to bring you along. And honestly, I'm not much of a book buying person. I'm more of a library girly. I find that books just accumulate in my house and cause clutter. I normally like to buy nonfiction and graphic novels and books that I'm gonna write all over. So if I really, really love a book, I'll buy it. But we'll see what I end up getting because I'm kind of in an adventurous mood. So maybe I will buy some things. If not, it will be nice to just hang around the books. So I hope you enjoy. Hi, and I'm back. It is now the next day and I come to you with a haul. And so I'm gonna start with what I got at the bookstore. The bookstore was awesome. There were so many sales. They blasted 80s music. And it was just really fun for me and my friend to go. I honestly am really surprised because I ended up getting more books than my friend, but the theme of the book seemed to be feminist thinkers and activists. And so without further ado, here's what I got. So the first book that I got was Asada, an autobiography by Asada Shakur. I'm like super excited because I've been meaning to read this for the longest time, and this one is in like really good condition. I feel like I messed it up a little bit. This one is in really good condition and I have never read this. I have heard that it's amazing. Already like flipping through it, there seems to be like poetry, there seems to be like a lot of dialogue, and I'm just really excited to hear like how she became radicalized and what her thoughts are. She's a great thinker and I really want to know more about her. She has sought refuge in Cuba right now, so I'm just interested in like the way that her brain works, and I'm excited that it's written kind of like in narrative form, because I tend to enjoy books written like that. So that's the first one. The second one I got, I'm so excited that I actually got this version, Sister Outsider by Audre Lorde. Audre Lorde is a black lesbian, or was a black lesbian thinker and activist. I read a few of her essays in college because I studied sociology, but I've never read this, like her full collection, and I'm excited to revisit. And already flipping through, I saw Poetry is Not a Luxury, which talks about like the importance of like poetry, especially with like marginalized people and people facing racism, and how that can be really sustaining. And I love poetry, so I'm so excited to like read her insights and just get to know more about who she is and like get inspired. So that's number 2. And number 3 is Fun Home by Alison Bechdel, who created the Bechdel test. This one has been on my list for the longest time, like for years and years and years. And it's a graphic memoir. And I think it has to do with her being queer and like her fraught relationship with her father. And so I know that this one has inspired a lot of, I think it like became a Broadway play perhaps. And I just want to learn more about this like really important text. And it just, ooh, it's saucy looking at what's on there, so I'm really excited for this one. I also think like I love reading backlists. I'm really excited to do the 10 books 10 decades challenge again, so it's just really nice to read books that have been around for a while and are still like being talked about, and the ideas have been so influential. And then after I went, that's my bookstore haul, but after I went to the bookstore, I actually stopped at the library. The book I got at the library was A Prayer for the Crowned Shy, which is the second book in the duology of The Monk and the Robot. I heard about the series through Allison Pages, and I love it so much. It's like, the books are really short. This one I believe is, oh my gosh, it's 150 something pages, or maybe like less than 200 pages. And this one is just really exciting for me. My cat is here. This one is really exciting for me because I really want to read more cozy books, but I think that oftentimes when I do read cozy books, I end up just like gagging because they're like cloyingly sweet. So I'm really excited to finish off the series. And basically this book is about a monk and a robot who form a friendship, and it is set in like a different planet called Panga. And in this planet, the robots have rebelled. They've left the factories. They've rebelled against the humans, and they have like their own space that's like not touched by human hands. And they basically make a life there, and then the humans live off on their own. In the first book, and this isn't a spoiler, the monk goes to the other side of the part of the planet where the robots are, and they meet a robot who's like really funny, and like they kind of learn about each other and talk about what is it that humans need. And so this is the conclusion, I believe, and honestly it just makes me so happy to hold this in my hands, and hopefully I'll finish out the year with this one. And then the last book I got, this is kind of like chick lit. I read, honestly, one of the reasons why I wanted to start a booktube is because I feel like I read really diversely across genres, and this is chick lit, but I do read literary fiction, I read nonfiction, I read graphic novels, read poetry, but sometimes you just need a little bit of chick lit. And I feel like it's not called chick lit anymore because that's derogatory. I think it's called like women's fiction. But anywho, this is Mika in Real Life by Emiko Jean, and essentially it's about a woman, I believe who's in her mid-30s, who when she was 16 put up a child for adoption, and then the child comes looking for her, and apparently she starts lying about like what she does for a living, and it like all spirals and snowballs out of control. But she like falls, she, the main character, falls for her daughter's adoptive dad, who I think is a widower. That sounds like a Hallmark movie, but I think it's interesting, and I think the author and the main character are both Japanese American, and the reason I picked this up, and so it explores issues of race, but the reason I picked this up was because I just read Tokyo Ever After, and it was really fun. So which is the other author's book, so I'm really excited. And now I'm gonna go to a coffee shop and hang out with my friend Kat, and we're just gonna chill, which I need it. big success. I had so much fun with Kat. I especially love going to Kamikaze because I used to live in the Davis Square neighborhood in Somerville, which is close to Boston. And it was just nice seeing like all of their indie selections, and they're all ages books. I also really loved like the Blast from the Past, all the Sanrio stuff. I love Sanrio. And just going to different gift shops. I'm laughing because when I got home, Dan actually told me that we have a Yankee swap that we're going to tomorrow. I mean, I knew we were going to a party, but I didn't know it was a Yankee swap, so I could have gotten cute gifts for that, and it was a missed opportunity. So today we're gonna make the most out of it. We're gonna go to Haymarket in the North End area, and we are going to get Yankee swap gifts. And the limit is like $30, so we'll see what we can get. Dan is like really keen on getting like chocolate, and I want to get something like a little cuter. And also I'm really excited because this is the Boston Public Library passport book. It's really dirty because it's full of coffee because it's been in my bag for a really long time. But this is just basically a passport book created by the city of Boston, or the Boston Public Library, to get people to visit more libraries. And so as you can see, there's like, for every library, there's like a different map. And whenever you go to a library, like, you know, this is the library I went to yesterday, the West End Library. I mean, 2 days ago, the West End Library. For every single place that you go to, you get a stamp. And so if you visit 5 library locations, you actually get a water bottle. And so I'm so excited to finally reach the 5th stamp. So I'm really excited about that. And so hopefully they still have water bottles left because it's been a while. I don't understand. I go to the library a lot, but I guess I always forget my passport book, and I guess I always go to the same 4 libraries. So it'll be nice for me to go to this 5th one to get my prize. The prize that you get if you get all the stamps is you actually get like a medal, and I really want that, or a trophy. It's really cheesy, but I would love to do that. So maybe that's for another day, obviously because we don't have time today. But yeah, that's something I'm really excited about. And also yesterday I got an iMac. It's so beautiful, and I'm excited to set up my workspace. So yeah, lots of exciting things, and I'm excited to show you around today. Peace. Hi, I'm back from the North End. It was a pretty successful North End run. We both got Yankee swap gifts. Dan got a bunch of nuts, and I got tea and honey for whoever wants it. I'm really sad because I got my 5th passport stamp, but they were out of water bottles. So the librarian was really kind and gave me the 15 stamp shirt instead. It says I booked it around Boston. I booked it to 15 Boston Public Libraries. It's really cute. I kind of got it oversized. I might have to crop it because I have no torso, But that was really nice, and I feel really lucky because somebody from the Boston Public Libraries reached out after I posted about it on stories and said that they had water bottles, so I'm gonna reach out to them and see if I can actually get a water bottle, because I feel sad because I really wanted that water bottle. And what else? So I also forgot to say that I actually finished a book last night, On a Sunbeam by Tillie Walden. And this book is queer, it's set in space, it has a love story. It alternates between the past and the present. It follows Mia, who is just figuring herself out. I really love this book. I would say the splashes of color in Tillie Walden's books are so beautiful. Her art is just amazing. I have read 3 Tillie Walden books this year, starting with Spinning, which is her memoir, and she's just fantastic. I think in the new year I want to read more graphic novels. I feel like I read a lot this year, but I want to read more. I think they're really underrated, and yeah, I'm just really happy. This one was really cozy. This is perfect to relax to after a long day, or I took a day off and I actually sat in bed and read this, so it was really nice. I have to say though that sometimes with Tillie Walden's books, I feel like sometimes I skip pages by accident, and I don't. It's just the transitions are sometimes rough. So it's just something to watch out for. But honestly, it was really a pleasure to read it, and my buddy read it with my friend Kriti, and we had a good time talking about it. This is also my first vlog, so I'm thinking like, how am I gonna end this? So I think I'm gonna wait till the last day of the year, which is in 2 days, and just close out, like just share more things about my life and share more bookish things. And I think that we will end this the last day of the year, and I will just share the books that I'm unfortunately bringing into 2023 because I didn't finish in 2022. So yeah, I'm really excited. Hi, I'm back. I hope that the B-roll hasn't been too chaotic, and if you're still here, thank you for bearing with me as I try to do my first vlog. So the holiday party we went to was actually really fun. I ended up scoring a Snuggie that's lavender colored, and I'll insert a picture, but I'm like obsessed with it, and even though it hasn't been that cold lately, I was still able to make use of it, and like I took a nap wearing it. It has like a hood and everything, so it's really convenient, and so that was really fun. My husband Dan and I have just been doing fun things and eating delicious food as one does. It's actually now the second day of 2023, so life has been a little chaotic. I've actually spent a lot of time editing my newbie tag vlog, which I'm excited to share and to release on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. And as far as bookish things, I like actually wrote things down so I would remember what to say. I've been spending a lot of time editing, so I haven't been reading as much as I would like, but the last book that I read for 2022 was Luisa Capetillo's A Nation of Women, which was published in 1919, and it's a feminist treatise. Luisa Capetillo was a Puerto Rican feminist and activist who was actually arrested for wearing pants in public. She is very like pro-worker, pro-women, pro-free love, and she was just like an all-around kick-ass woman. I read this book because of Afro Vegana and Amy Reads the Books on Bookstagram. They both posted about her, and honestly, It just seemed like really interesting to read. And also this was my 10th book for the 10 Books, 10 Decades challenge, which is hosted by Reggie Reads. I love that challenge. It's the second time I do it. And it's a challenge where essentially you read 10 books from 10 different decades. And so this book was really thought-provoking. There's a lot of criticisms of capitalism and the Catholic Church. And I'm honestly amazed that as a Puerto Rican who grew up in the island, I never really learned about her. So it was really nice to like enrich my mind about that. So as far as the books that I'm bringing into 2023 that I started in 2022, let's start by the one that I started reading the earliest, and that was Prison by Any Other Name. And that book is a nonfiction book all about prison reforms and how people are so aware of the prison industrial complex now that that the government has found different ways to like incarcerate people in unconventional ways, which I guess have become conventional, but and it's all about how we might have fewer people in prison now, but what about people under house arrest? What about people in involuntary like psychiatric holds? What about people in rehabs? So for me, it's a really enlightening book, and I think the good thing about this one is that every chapter focuses on a different aspect of incarceration. And so even though I'm like halfway done with it, I'll still be able to start a new chapter that focuses on something different. I think the one that I actually stopped after was the one on in 2021, I read Mariame Kaba's We Do This Till We Free Us, and I also read A Prison's Obsolete by Angela Davis, and those are really, really enlightening. I like to practice abolitionism, thinking about cancel culture and what that means for people, like, you know, are people ever really able to redeem themselves? But when it comes to sexual violence, I think I get a little more hesitant, and I understand. I think I do need to reread Mariame Kaba's We Do This Till We Free Us, because she had really solid arguments, and I think that I recommend that book to anybody, but especially anyone who wants to practice abolitionism. That's a book that I'm really looking forward to finishing reading, and I actually saw that it's available on audio on Scribd, so I want to read it on Scribd, so maybe it won't be as tough of a read. Who knows? And maybe I could listen while I read, because I took a lot of notes. The second book that I'm bringing into 2023 is The Book of Delights by Ross Gay. I actually keep it by my nightstand. So The Book of Delights is all about finding joy in the little things. In this book, Ross Gay writes a little tiny essay for a delight that he finds in every day. And it's just so beautiful. And I keep it in my nightstand, and when I can't sleep, I read a different essay. But honestly, I've been slacking in terms of reading it, so I think I gotta get back to reading it. And then the last book that I'm bringing into 2023, I started recently, and it is Life Ceremony by Sayaka Murata. I've read 2 other books by Sayaka Murata, and I love her style of writing and the things that she writes about. She is a Japanese author, and her works are translated, and they're all about, these short stories are all about people questioning the conventions of society. And so I love how she roots for the outcasts, and how she like really makes us think about things in a different perspective. And so I'm excited. I'm really excited to finish that one. I think that I'm gonna close out the vlog here, but I also want to kind of think about what I hope to bring into 2023 in terms of like my intentions. And I really want to continue decentering the United States. I want to read more translated literature. I want to read more Caribbean literature and Latin American literature. I think I also want to read more literature from the continent of Africa, because I think that is missing in my reading. I feel like I read a lot of translated literature from Europe and from Asia, and I think I should broaden my horizons. I'm just looking forward to being consistent, and thank you for sticking around if you have. Hope you have a beautiful day, and if you so choose, please like and subscribe. Peace.